So these are rational equations, and this is the introduction to it. So we're solving. We want to solve for what? We're solving for k. Okay, so we have a rational equation here. And notice that our variables are on the bottom and the top. So, but whenever you have variables on the bottom, you pretty much always have to multiply by some common denominator. Now, this one's even a little bit more tricky. So let's go ahead and look at what we have here. So I got a 4k minus 6. It's an ugly k. 4k minus 6 over 3k minus 9. And it's equal to 1 over 3. Okay. So there's some other little tricks that we can do here. I don't want to make it any more complicated than it needs to, but I just want you to recognize there's a common factor of 3 here. 3k and 9 both have a factor of 3, so I could factor out a 3. And this has a 3 right here, so I can use that to kind of help me find a common denominator. But we want to multiply by a common denominator. We want to clear the fractions here. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply by a common denominator. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Okay? So what's the common denominator? It's basically like if you're adding these together. So when I do this, that means it's going to reduce out a little bit, but that's fine. It's better to make this a little bit easier initially so that later on, usually students don't have trouble reducing, but some students do have trouble factoring out. Okay, so what's the common denominator? The trick is you just multiply these together. So the common denominator is going to be 3 times 3k minus 9. And you're multiplying that to both sides. Okay, do that to the other side. 3 times 3k, sorry, it's getting minus 9. Okay, so the whole point of this is that things cancel. They reduce out. If something's on top and something's on bottom that are exactly the same, they can reduce. So notice that on the right side, the 3 and the 3 reduce. On the left side, there's a 3k minus 9 and a 3k minus 9 that are in common. Okay. So what's left? What's left on the left? I still have that 3. What else? There's a 4k minus 6 up here. 4k minus 6. Okay? 4k minus 6 on the left. On the right, what's left? The 3k minus 9 is left. Okay, now we'll go ahead and just distribute. Multiply that through, so get rid of the parentheses. 12k minus 18 is equal to 3k minus 9. Let's now move all of our k's to one side, all of our numbers to the other side. Remember, try to keep k positive if possible. So I'm going to subtract 3k from both sides. Minus 3k minus 3k. I get 9k minus 18 equals negative 9. Add 18 to both sides. 9k equals 9. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. And I get k equals 1. All right. One important thing, so that should be the answer. 1 should be the answer there. But notice we have a k on the bottom here. So when you start or when you finish, it's really important that you kind of look at what are some domain restrictions. So domain restrictions is the bottom of a fraction can never equal 0. So I want to know when this is equal to 0 on the bottom, the 3k minus 9 is equal to 0. I got to make sure this answer is not it. So let's add 9. Add 9. 3k equals 9. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. So k in this case, so this is a can't equal 0. It can't equal this. K cannot equal 3. So that's a domain restriction that we have on here. If this answer was 3, then that would be an extraneous solution and it's not possible. So in this case, everything's okay, but it's always important whenever you have letters on the bottom of your fraction just to see it, okay, what it is. So 1 is what I got for my final answer. 1, check, and we're okay. Okay, K is 1.